Since its humble beginnings, video games have been the center of controversy. On numerous occasions, the visual medium has been a scapegoat for some of the atrocities committed by the world's youth. The debate on whether or not video games are to blame for violent acts or moral depravity still rages on, from local PTA groups all the way up to Capitol Hill. But sometimes game developers like to push the envelope to see just how far they could go. Today we take a look at the top 5 controversial moments in gaming history. Not sure if I really need to say this, but this video is rated M for mature. Also, I chose not to include games that are intentionally offensive. For example, Custer's Revenge. Now, this is a game where you play a naked General Custer with a visible erection, and you have to dodge arrows in order to get to a Native American woman tied to a cactus and then rape her. This is wrong on so many levels. So games like Ethnic Cleansing, Manhunt, and JFK Reloaded will not be included on the list. Number 5, Pyramid Head Rape Scene. Creepy. In 2001, the freakishly intense survival horror game Silent Hill 2 hit home consoles. It was chock full of disturbing and terrifying scenes, but there's one scene that will always stand out above the others. While inside the hallways of the apartment building, the main protagonist, James, enters a room and encounters Pyramid Head, a humanoid monster whose head is completely obscured by a giant metal helmet. You hide in a closet and watch as he grabs and restrains 2 mannequin monsters by the legs. Their positions and movements suggest a sexually violent act is being performed. When he's done doing his business, he drags one of the now lifeless mannequins towards the closet that James is hiding in. The game's creator alludes that this scene is a manifestation of James's psyche and represents his own sexual frustrations. This scene was so sinister that the creators decided to edit it in a recent HD version. Keep it in your pants, buddy. Number 4, Pokemon's Jinx character. The Pokemon video game series has been accused of everything from witchcraft to Nazism to even gambling. Animal activist groups like PETA have even tried to get it banned because they believe Pokemon battles resemble cockfights. But the biggest of all accusations is that one particular Pokemon is the embodiment of a very unbecoming racial caricature, blackface. In January of 2000, renowned children's author and poet Carol Boston Weatherford stated that the character Jinx has, quote, decidedly human features, jet black skin, huge pink lips, gaping eyes, a straight blonde mane, and a full figure, complete with cleavage and wiggly hips. Put another way, Jinx resembles an overweight drag queen incarnation of Little Black Sambo, end quote. After this editorial was publicized and picked up by media outlets, the game's developers and series creator subsequently changed Jinx's color from jet black to purple. Any incarnations of the original character were either banned or retroactively redesigned. This mammified pocket monster was removed from the animes, video games, and the syndicated shows. Just like some of the old Looney Tunes shorts depicting dim-witted black folk with bulbous lips and slave-like mannerisms. Some would argue that this was based off a popular fad in Japan called ganguro, where women would apply dark makeup to their face to accentuate their eyes and lips. But the word ganguro directly translates to blackface, so there's that. Coming in at number 3, the No Russian Mission. There's a mission early on in the campaign mode of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 where you assume the role of a deeply undercover American CIA agent. You and a group of Russian terrorists go into an airport and blast away innocent civilians. In the elevator, one of the gunmen turns to you and reminds you not to speak Russian. As you commit the atrocious massacre, you can hear the screams of the injured as they try to crawl away, leaving a trail of blood behind them. Some people are seen desperately dragging others to safety, only to be shot with bloody results. Although you don't technically have to kill anyone in the airport, if you try to stop the carnage by shooting one of your allies, it would result in a failed mission. Due to its disturbing content, players could choose to skip that mission with no penalty to the game. There's no score for killing civilians, and there's no specific achievements or trophies earned during that mission. With all that being said, this scene is definitely an essential part of the story that explained why Russia would choose to invade in the game. Plus, what self-respecting gamer would choose to skip the explicit content? I mean, when I saw it, I was like, oh man, what is it? But then I started playing it and I was like, Mommy, I don't feel so good. I got that same feeling when I played GTA 5 during Trevor's interrogation scenes. I was very uncomfortable performing heinous acts like this in order to progress in the story. The mission itself was removed entirely in some countries and all out banned in Australia. Honestly, you'd be surprised how many games are banned in Australia. It's crazy. But needless to say, this caused an all-out media frenzy, especially since it was around the time of the Fort Hood shooting. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas Hot Coffee. Man, I was waiting on this one. Yeah. Surprisingly, the thing that got lawmakers to rip San Andreas from the shelves wasn't the ability to kill prostitutes or mow down pedestrians. It was the discovery of a normally inaccessible minigame dubbed the Hot Coffee mod. In 2005, some dude was creeping through the code of the game on PC. He found the minigame that portrays crudely animated sex between the main character CJ and his in-game girlfriend. After people saw that it was accessible on PC, they also found assets for it on the PlayStation and Xbox versions. Here comes Senators Hillary Clinton and Joe Lieberman, who basically said take it down or pay the price. An updated version of the game had to be re-released with the scene completely removed. The game's developers claimed that the minigame was there to test in-game mechanics. Oh yeah, I bet you they were like, yeah baby, test those mechanics. By the way, when this game first released, I played it for 2 days straight. I skipped classes and lost friends. I don't recommend any of you do that though. In my opinion, it's still one of the best GTAs ever made. Yes, better than Vice City. And number 1, Mortal Kombat Fatalities. The fighting game Mortal Kombat has been the center of various controversies and subject to several court cases since its creation in 1992. Politicians and soccer moms across America lambasted the game for its excessive use of graphic and over-the-top violence. Uppercutting your opponent into the air or breathing fire on someone until they're only bones are pretty tame compared to today's standards of video game violence. But I think once people saw the character Sub-Zero could rip a head clean off with spine intact, that was when public officials held congressional hearings faster than 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Oh my god, it looks so cool. Senators Herb Kohl and Joe Lieberman, hey, remember him? Were at the forefront of the public outcry for regulation in video games due to their overwhelmingly violent nature. This game is number 1 on the list because it is the reason that you see these ratings on games now. These are ESRB ratings. You know, those icons you ignore when you buy video games from Walmart? The Entertainment Software Rating Board was created because Mortal Kombat and its eye-opening, bloodthirsty fatalities. Even game's creator Ed Boon's initial reaction to Sub-Zero's spine rip was, no man, that's too far. That's over the top. Without Mortal Kombat, who knows if the ESRB would have ever been created? Games like Heavy Rain, God of War, or even Grand Theft Auto might not have existed, and we would all be playing updated versions of Nights into Dreams. Dear God, no! Thanks for watching. Go ahead and sound off in the comments section on what your list would look like. And make sure you subscribe to this channel for more Top 5.